What's up, guys? On today's episode, we have a little bit of a celebrity today. We have Rizwan Malik. You've definitely seen him on Cityline, and he was on HGTV's Hot Market. Amazing social presence. He is the youngest vice president of sales ever at Sotheby's International Realty. Absolute gem in the real estate industry. Amazing guy. Shares a lot of golden nuggets and value for you guys. So without further ado, I want you guys to listen to the episode with Rizwan Malik. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Price to Sell podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Campoli. And again, just want to give you guys some love for consistently supporting, sharing, subscribing, listening consistently every Tuesday. You guys are awesome. So love you guys. And today, I want to introduce a new very special guest. You may have seen this guest on Cityline. You may have seen him on HGTV's Hot Market. And he is the youngest vice president of sales ever at Sotheby's International Realty. We have Mr. Rizwan Malik in the building. Thank you for coming.
You kind of choked up on the last one there. You're like, oh, and that?
Yeah, there's a lot of credentials.
That is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot where I'm going to choke up. so good for you.
No, that's excellent. But thank you. That's what a glowing, I don't know, list of accolades, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's good. It's been a good career so far. So, lots of achievements.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, pat on the back for you.
Yes.
But, I mean, yeah, you guys probably seen him on TV, probably seen him on Instagram.
Walking down the street,
I saw
running
him,
in the rain just
I
now.
saw him running in the rain just now. That was my first introduction of Rizwan.
Soaking wet.
But let's give the audience a little bit of a background into who you were. I know you got into business super young, so let's chat about it.
Well, I was 19 years old. I was in school getting my business degree, and I've always been great at sales. Always, gift of the gab, all that stuff. So, and I decided to get my real estate license at 19 due to some circumstances, blah, blah, blah. And it was great. I'm now sitting at a dinner table across from, potential sellers or whoever. And here's this little kid who's 19 years old, eager to sell their home. And it's their biggest, most prized asset that they have. And to get them to trust me, to get them to work with me, even in my first year, I remember I made $88,000.
Oh, wow, good for you.
At 19,
Oof.
almost 2 decades ago, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And to put it into context, I bought a house back then, a detached 3-bedroom house that I still own for $322,000. So $88,000 for that year was a lot of money. I was at a home life brokerage, and I made the president's list. So I was top 10 in my first year there. And number 10, of course, but that's okay,
Top 10.
Humble brag.
Yeah.
But I'll keep it humble. But yeah, I literally just snuck in. But it was good, right? You sit there and you work with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, the career, everything else just grew. I then went on and I worked with the Daniels Corporation. Launched 14 high-rise towers for them.
What did you do with Daniels?
I was they're part of their sales team.
Inside sales?
Yeah.
That's a great experience.
But after about 14 high-rise towers, 2,500 units, $2 billion almost.
Mm-hmm.
It was more just like a point and initial and a point and a signature,
Yeah.
right? You sell 200, 300 units over the course of a weekend. I'm like, this is not why I got into business.
Yeah.
I want to put people in my car and drive around. In the middle of the showing, stop and have like a drink, and stop and get like a coffee, get a water, talk to them, go out for dinner. So I left. Then I went to Sotheby's, and that's where I believe I was 31, and I was awarded Senior VP of Sales. You left out the senior part.
You're right, I did.
I'm not counting. I always laugh because I'm like, does this mean I'm going to get, a discount at Shoppers on Seniors Day? So the youngest senior vice president of sales. And it was good. It's been solid. And then like Cityline and Hot Market, it's been really, really good.
That's awesome. I mean, hey, you're hitting all like the accolades, like the highest things, like people would love to be on.
Yeah.
TV shows, you're on 2, right? That's awesome.
Pretty good.
And I love what you just said about you want to take people in your car. You want to stop in between showings, have a drink maybe. That's very rare.
Yeah. Well,
Super rare.
I think a lot of people, like a lot of realtors, their goal in life is to become that listing agent, right? Slap on a for sale sign, put some feature sheets down, take some photos, stage, whatever, and then let the business come to you. Whereas I'm like, I'm okay to go out and get the business. I'm okay to, like, this business is about people, right? It's not about the homes. The homes are, the added touch, but it's a business about people.
And do you find that, like, how do your clients respond to that? Like, are they like wowed every single time? Like, because you're literally putting in like the love, the soul,
hitting the pavement every day.
Hitting the pavement every day. A lot of agents will just get out there.
I'm showing today at 3:30 with like.
Okay.
No, but we can go. I'll push it. It doesn't matter. But like, I'm just saying. And he's a new client. He emailed me. He's like, I saw you on TV, and like, I have a modest budget, but I'm in medicine, and I will have a huge budget one day soon. Will you work with me? And I was like, absolutely. A budget is a budget. Whatever's important to you is important to me, right?
Yeah. And are you finding a lot of this action is coming from the Cityline?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's filtering in from everywhere, which is nice. Instagram, online, everywhere.
It's amazing. And in regards to Sotheby's, we were talking earlier, which is funny because people's perspectives are interesting, right? So they see a big luxury brand like that. Meanwhile, you love first-time home buyers.
Yes, I am at Sotheby's, and like it's synonymous with luxury real estate, and it's whatever. And I've always toed the line that my goal in life is to offer luxury service. So it's at any price point. Your price point could be entry level. Your price point can be multiple millions of dollars. But for me, it's always been, whatever's important to my buyer or my seller, it's important to me because at the end of the day, like I was negotiating a deal a long time ago, and I sat there and we were going back and forth, and I said to my seller, I said, I think the 4th or 5th sign back, because I'm a dinosaur. This is when we used to like cross things out, no DocuSign back then, and fax it over. I'm like, we can't even read the darn contract anymore. There's no space to cross an initial price anymore. I was like, it's only $5,000. And we have, at this point, a great working relationship, a great rapport. She looked at me and she said, is it $5,000 of my money or your money? And I stood corrected. I was like, okay, you're absolutely right. It's $5,000 of your money. If you see the value in taking the contract, great. If not, we will sign it back with the $5,000 higher. So that taught me something very early on, that I am just the facilitator of the process, but also, the key fundamentals that are important to them, to my clients, to my buyers, to my sellers, that's what's important to me. And it's honestly a privilege to be part of such a personal decision in their lives, where they get to hang their hat at the end of the night, where they get to eat dinner, where they get to raise their families, where they get to scream at their significant other. Like, as a joke, I've always done this. Whenever my clients are like, I go out with buyers and they're like, oh, this place feels like home. I'm like, go have a seat on the couch. And they'll go sit on the couch. They're like, yeah, it still feels like home. I'm like, go in the kitchen and yell at each other. Because you're going to do that. So
yeah, that's hilarious.
Go scream at each other and see if that feels like home.
Yeah.
But also it's just about making it fun.
Yeah.
Right? So, and making it light.
Yeah.
So.
I love that.
Yeah.
The kitchen is that spot.
It's the heart of the home.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of
everything happens
They
there.
should make it soundproof.
Yeah.
In the kitchen. Soundproof appliances. But that's super interesting because a lot of agents will they're commission hungry and they just want to like transact and volume, just next. So I feel like just based on this chat, you're the type of guy that's probably doing a lot of touch points even after the sale.
For sure. I call them on their birthdays, right? Like it's one thing to say, I don't know, a happy Hanukkah, happy Ramadan, whatever. But instead of a mass mailer on like a milestone holiday, for me it's more important to be like, hey, happy birthday.
Yeah.
We have all that information. Why aren't we using it?
Mm-hmm. Everything's so automated now.
Yeah. Like send them a handwritten birthday card. Mm-hmm. You've got their address. You sold them the house.
It's
true. And as a joke, sometimes if I'm going to meet clients for drinks or whatever, I'll be like, what's your address again? And honestly, sometimes I genuinely don't remember, but I have to look it up. But as a joke, it is what it is. But yeah, no, I think volume is one thing, and I've done volume. I like, you don't get to senior VP of sales. It's not just something they're handing out. It is a sales accolade. It's the highest level of sales that you can achieve within one calendar year. Blah 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 blah. I've done all that, and I work, and I always tell people I work as much as I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 2 decades in the business, I don't have a website,
Mm.
right? Because again, yes, I'm not a charity. I have expenses. I'm doing this. It's my livelihood. It's my bread and butter. It's what I, do to pay my bills. But at the same time, I've also walked up to a listing with several times over the past number of years, with various different clients. We'll walk up to the front door, and after about the 10th or 15th showing, you know what they're looking for, right? After even like third showing, at this point now I know what they're looking for. But after about the 10th, 15th, they know what they're looking for.
Yes.
We've walked up to the door to get the key out of the lockbox, unlock the door, and I'm like, guys, this one's not it. We've closed the door and we've driven to the next listing.
Mm-hmm.
Home is a feeling,
Mm-hmm.
right? And all these during COVID, like these virtual showings, whatever. Sure, it's fine, but like home is a feeling. It's like a date, right?
Mm-hmm.
You sit down, and within the first 15 seconds, you know whether you're even staying for the rest of the drink or if you want a second drink in the future. But you already know that.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly even walking up to the date, you already know what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Home is the exact same thing. At the front door, you know whether it's home or it's not, and then you go and look around. If it is home, and you're like, okay, yeah, well, this I can work with, this I can work with. And to your point, where a lot of realtors are just like commission hungry and money driven, and there's nothing wrong with that also, right? It's whatever, right? They'll walk into a listing that they know is not right for their buyer, and they'll be like, well, you can change the kitchen, you can change the floors, you can change the bathroom. But they're like, we're going to be house poor by the time we're done buying this place. I don't have money to change the kitchen. I don't have money to change the floors. I don't have money to change the bathrooms. Like, okay, sure. Like 2 out of the 3 are okay. Maybe over time I can save to change one thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I hate the floors, I'll throw a big rug down for now. I'll do something. But, like I don't like that type of sales approach.
For sure.
Right? It's like, okay, go to the next house. Maybe the flooring will be intact and will be in the color of the shade or the whatever shape that your clients want. Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's one less thing to worry about for them, because there are our market's insane.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I feel like you're able to, you have an ability to tune in
Yeah.
to what they want and like their feelings, and you catch vibes and things like that, which is awesome. So is there like a certain like strategy, or just you being you? But I imagine your clients trust you a lot,
Oh yeah.
right?
I mean, to stand at the front door and say, guys, this one's not it.
For sure.
And they're like, okay, let's go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not like a one-time thing. I just did this a few weeks ago
Yeah.
with clients my buyers who I'm going out with right now.
So how do you acquire that though? Like, is that something that you learned over time? Because there's probably realtors out there who are just struggling. It's like they've been taking their buyer out, spinning their tires for like months,
Yeah.
and they have no control,
Yeah.
right? So like, what are you doing to like gain that control early on, so that they trust you? Like whatever you say, we'll do essentially.
Yeah. Well, it comes from like having a good command of the market, like being able to speak to things, being able to show them that I'm not there for just my commission check, because of course that will come. Like I said earlier, like I'm not doing this for free, but the value that I bring to them, the value that I sort of show them is that I'm happy. Like it will all come eventually. However, right now this is your time. Like we're here. Like we both have a vested interest, and we're working collaboratively to find you that ideal spot. And my monetary gain, my personal gain is secondary to me. And as soon as they realize that, they're like, okay, this guy's on our side. The guy that's telling you, okay, change the floors, change the windows, change the doors, change the roof, change whatever, that's the person who's working for themselves. Because they're like, I don't want to show you one more house, just buy this darn thing.
Yeah.
And let's let's put a nail in this coffin. But like, it's like, no, I'm like, I'll show you 100 homes.
Yeah.
Or we can, I've gone out, I was hosting an open house in Liberty Village. This is like, feels like 100 years ago, but I'd say at least a decade ago. And this guy comes in, the townhouse isn't for him. It's not, he doesn't like it, whatever. So, I get his email address. I go back to the office that day at 4:30, and I send him a bunch of listings. And he picks one. He's like, okay, can I go see this one? Okay, I look it up, and it's over by Lakeshore, Parkland and Lakeshore. And there were 3, coincidentally, for sale, like stacked townhomes in the same little complex. And so I booked all 3. I'm like, you know what, whatever. Like, we're right there. I'll show him all three.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll take that one. By the end of the day, I had already negotiated and sold something right that day. So it can also work very, very quickly. It can happen very, very quickly as well.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, empowering your clients and making them realize that you're there for them,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
most agents are like, oh, dragging their feet. Oh, it's an open house 2 to 4. Okay, let's go to a patio at 4 o'clock. No, it's like, let's go to the office. Let's, strike while the iron's hot. I mean, of course, I go to the patio too sometimes at 4 o'clock. But if you have a reason to go to the office, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of agents who aren't, you love what you do, right? And you can tell there's that passion there. It's missing.
Not every day, but most
Yeah.
days. Most days.
I mean, yeah, we all have our days. But what does a day in life of Rizwan look like?
Oh, I live a blessed life. I like I said, I work as much as I need to. I get out of the city about 3 to 4 times a week. I horseback ride, so
Cool.
up in Kleinburg, so that's pretty
Nice.
nice. Yeah, it's like 3 hours for me to. It's like alone time for me.
Yeah.
Because the drive up there, and then just riding up, and then driving back. It's fine. It's really it's calming for me. It's good for my mental health. But like literally, I do everything. Not everything, but like I have a very lifestyle based approach to everything.
Yeah.
So, and I even tell clients of mine, right, like who are, in certain circumstances, if you have, children, you need a house or a backyard or whatever, and you can't do that downtown or whatever because you're priced out. Yes, you have to commute and you live, in the outskirts, the GTA. Maybe you're like, quite a bit of distance out, and you're driving into the city every day for work. But for me, I always tell my buyers or whoever, it's like, listen, if you're doing 80 to 90% of your living, eating, entertainment, all that stuff in a certain location, and you should probably live there. If it means living in a smaller home or a smaller dwelling or smaller whatever condo, but your quality of life is so much better. I've caught myself, like, I used to commute an hour each way in and out of the city, and sometimes I'd be here so late, and I'd go home, and I'm like, one day I'm going to drive into this median. I'm like, the windows are down, the sunroof's open, there's like cold air on my face, trying to stay awake. I'm like trying to slap myself to stay awake. Yeah. Actually, a good trick, if you're ever caught in that, buy sunflower seeds, and if you're because you're doing an activity, it'll stimulate your brain and you'll stay awake.
Interesting.
So buy sunflower seeds, and
So don't knock myself out.
yeah, no, don't smack yourself.
Okay.
But yeah, you're get sunflower seeds and eat them, and just taking the husks off and stuff. It's apparently it'll stimulate you enough to keep you up.
Okay.
But yeah, or no, just move where you live. Like live where, just move closer to, so you're not doing that commute all the time. But yeah, no, it was brutal. So I think for me, I have a very lifestyle based approach to everything. So even when it comes to my own life,
Yeah.
I work as much as I need to, and that's it.
Yeah. I can resonate with that because I do a lot of Simcoe selling.
Oh, nice.
Like I sell a lot in bonds, Simcoe.
Yeah.
Don't ask why. I just do.
Hey, it is what it is.
And I can resonate with the part of those drives up there.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I just helped a buyer buy in East Gwillimbury.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a great little
Oh,
pocket.
yeah, and like these are like estate lots, like trees and forests and all these things. It's amazing. But I live right down here, like the south as you can get. I'm right on the water.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've had those drives many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting to, and I still don't know where I want to be. So I'm still in like that discovery phase of like, where do I really want to live? I couldn't tell you. If you can be like, Matt, what's your like dream location? Where do you want to live? I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just.
Well, it's trial and error too,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like so have you always lived by the water then?
No, I'm from Vaughan,
Okay.
so I'm used to suburbs.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, let's try the city out. Let's change it up. I need to grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to get out of here
Yeah,
and experience a different
Yeah.
nightlife, culture, everything, right? So I moved out to the city, and I've been near the water for a little over 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So like even with the city, like I've lived all over the place. So like King West, Yorkville, and and everything in between. And yeah, I'm back in Yorkville now. Like that's my place, and I love it. The neighborhood's great. It's like well located, so I'm halfway between the office and right downtown, so it's great. And it's lively, but it's living off of King West. I've lived at 80 John. I've lived at 21 Widmer, 400 Wellington. Um, the number of abandoned heels in the morning. The amount of vomit on the sidewalk. I was like, at some point, I was like, okay, we got to grow up. Like
Yeah.
this is not it.
Yeah.
I remember at 21 Widmer, we had an 18-story flood. 18-story flood because they have some exposed plumbing in the hallways. And of course, someone came home at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, as you do, and decided to just hang off one of the pipes.
Oh.
Yeah, it snapped, and literally right from that floor all the way down to P4, a massive flood.
Wow.
So it's it was very. I was like, okay, this is it.
It's very King West.
Yeah, let's sell and leave. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'll go to King West, several times a week. I love it, but it's just small doses. I just don't want to wake up and step in vomit or like walk past vomit and see another pair of heels. So yeah, I was like, okay, it's time to move.
And you're not really getting that in Yorkville.
Not a lot. I mean, we're not getting vomit. We're still getting some stuff, but not necessarily vomit.
Can't escape it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to live at Thompson Residences. So you hear everything.
Oh yes.
You hear it all.
Oh yeah.
Including sirens.
Yeah.
But I want to jump into Cityline.
Yes.
So what is so how is that? Like, what's your role there, and like what are you doing with Cityline?
So I'm the real estate contributor. So it's kind of really, really great. And again, that was such a huge honor as well.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, there's like 88,000 agents in Ontario, and for them to say, okay, you know what, we want to work with you and whatever, like it was very nice and a huge achievement in my opinion. Like I can be modest mostly, but like that I was very, very excited about, and I love it. So as I said to you, I horseback ride. So our next segment, I'm actually taking Tracy to the farm.
Cool.
And yeah, so I'm gonna get her on a horse, and like it's just it's keeping it interesting, and I think it's a great little perspective of me showing people at home, the type of agent that I am, like the things that I do, and a business card can only do so much.
For sure.
A mailer, a flyer can only do so much, and this is the other reason why I've always thought about the importance of doing open houses and stuff. You get to meet people, and immediately, either they're your person or they're not.
Yeah.
Like 9 times out of 10 now, like even like an average home or whatever, you're looking at $2 million, right? So they likely have an agent, right? But maybe a nosy neighbor is going to come in and just keep your card after because you've had that rapport, you've built something. So Cityline offers that.
Yes.
Right. It gives them a glimpse into my personality and like the quirkiness and the sense of humor and like I can be quite crude and whatever with clients, and like half the times like my clients were walking up to me this one day and like they have a little kid and he had like a bottle of juice in his hand, and I grabbed her. I'm like, Ben, give me that for a second. I'm like, from concentrate? What the hell? I'm like, you're raising your kid on concentrate? So it's still like it's our longest running joke. I'm like, we're gonna decrease this budget so the kid can at least get freshly squeezed. Like,
That's
what
funny.
is this nonsense?
Yeah.
What are you gonna give him? Tang next? Sunny Delight? Like, what are you guys doing?
Sunny Delight.
Grew up on that.
Yeah, me too.
It was so good.
Yeah, I can taste it right now.
But yeah, so so Cityline offers that. We almost already start to build a rapport, which is nice.
Yeah, like I'm big on Instagram. So for me, it's the same idea where clients I'm getting the listing before the appointment. They know who I am. They're like already telling me what they want me to do in terms of my video, my content. Like, I can't wait till you make a really cool video, or I want you to make you can do something funny. You can do a skit. I think so. It's really interesting when you are able to get that exposure. So I have some interesting encounters. Okay, what are some like being someone relevant on television, social media, things like that? What are some funny stories or encounters you've experienced?
So in terms of like people and just going out every day, I was standing at a urinal once, and this guy looks over and he's like, "Are you that guy from TV?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." So I was up in up at Vaughan Mills, and I'm getting shawarma. I'm at like Villa Medina. I'm getting a shawarma plate, and the guy making me my shawarma plate, he looks at me and he's like, "You're that guy from Cityline, right?" So it's interesting. Like I will always say, our Canadians are very different. Like the U.S., very different. Their market, their media market is very different than ours. We're pretty small potato still, right? Like it's not the selling sunsets of the world. Like it's not that yet here because like we're still very modest and we're like the nice Canadians. Everyone's very polite and like they don't want to be in your face, whatever, which is great. But it's moments like the guy making my fattoush salad and like my shaving chicken off the skewer for me. If he knows who I am, like I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's and then the guy like looking at me at the urinal and being like, "You're like," I'm
That's
like,
an interesting one.
That was like.
That's a little.
That was like, yeah.
You could have waited.
Yeah, maybe wash your hands first.
Yeah.
Like, do we shake hands? Are you gonna shake my hand here? Or do I get to wash? But yeah, no, it's. But yeah, it's all over the place. Probably one of the craziest ones. I don't know if I should. Oh, I don't care. I was in Yorkville and saw my ex after a very long time, and while we're having a discussion, someone comes from across the street and says, "Are you Rizwan from Hot Market?" And like, at this point, I'm like, "Yes." Can we take a selfie? So imagine running into an ex after like a year or however long, and a fan comes up and I use fan very loosely, comes across the street and asks you for a selfie. Like, it's like you can't even write that.
Yeah.
Like that to me was
talk
like,
about a glow up. Eh?
yeah, exactly. But no, it was that to me. To this day, I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I walked away feeling pretty good after that.
For sure you did. Sure you did. I'm sure they did too. Yeah, it's amazing, man. And again, 18 years in the business, so you've seen the shifts in the markets. You've seen like all these new realtors come out of nowhere, right? A stat I was given, I don't know, we could fact check this, but like 30% of the agents we see now came in during COVID, pandemic. Everyone's like, become a realtor.
Yeah.
So what are some of your pet peeves in our industry?
Part-time agents.
Part-time? Okay. I can
relate.
relate.
And I'll tell you why. It's nothing against anyone. And I always put it this way. If you don't trust in yourself enough to make real estate your full-time career, that you can rely, that you can sell enough and you can make enough money to live off of, why should someone trust their life savings into your hands so you can just make an extra quick buck, like a few extra dollars on the side because you have a 9-to-5 or you have another career? Like, to me, it's almost just, again, all of it for me, it goes back to my clients, right? And it's disrespectful to their money. It's disrespectful to their investment. It's disrespectful to their hard-earned dollars that they go out every single day hitting the pavement and making. And I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Like, yeah, I've got a full-time job, but an extra $20,000-$30,000 every now and again, it's not going to hurt. That's not the reason.
Yeah.
Right. So that's my biggest pet peeve. I don't necessarily resonate with part-time agents.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
I have compliance. I have clients complaining. Well, I've switched over from part-timers.
Sure.
Like, like I can never get a hold of them during the day. I'm like, yeah, he's working. Right. And that's a great perspective. They don't believe in themselves enough to want to commit to this full-time commission job.
So why should this person that you're potentially buying or selling for, and it's their single most expensive asset, why should they trust in you?
Yes. You can't trust yourself.
It's simple.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like a different perspective. But yeah.
And what do you think of the whole social media and where it's gone?
Honestly, I don't even have a TikTok account. Like, I made one. I'm like logged out of it. I don't even know what my password is. I think I have four TikToks that have been sitting there for like I don't know how long. I cannot. I just I post a lot. Like I make the bed and I post it. Like, it's like I literally will post several things every day. But like, it's just simple, easy things that I'm doing throughout the day. Like, whether it's a selfie, whether it's on my horse, whether it's out for dinner, whatever it might be. But I guess I'm still pretty old school. Like, back in the day, like when Facebook would like change its interface, like I would be upset for 2 days because I'm like, oh, I just got used to where all the buttons were, and I have to go back in and find them again. But no, it's just social media is the driving force behind everything right now, and I think it's great. But also, a lot of people will be like, oh, you should do more. You should do TikToks. You should do Reels. You should post this and that. And my perspective has always been people who are browsing through Instagram. Like if they're looking for a home, they'll be on realtor.ca. They'll be on one of the other various websites that you can, find properties on. They're not going through my Instagram, reels to buy a property. It's one of those things where, is someone going to call you off a bus shelter ad? Is someone to call you off a park bench? Likely not. But it's exposure.
Yeah.
Right? It's just exposure, and for the person that does hire you, it's like, oh yeah, look, my realtor does great because he's on this park bench, or his face is on the back of this bus. No one's calling you off the back of a bus.
Yeah.
Right? So, like I said, it's almost 20 years in the business. I don't have a website.
Yeah.
But I'm a senior VP of sales at Sotheby's. Right? So you can still make it work. It's not a matter of you need that exposure to make it work. I don't need to post reels about real estate because, and don't get me wrong, I will eventually cave and do it. My PR team is really, they've been hounding me now, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start doing things. But it's been a year where they've been asking me, right? So we had to come to Jesus on Tuesday, and I was like, fine, give me a week. So before next Tuesday, I'm gonna have to do something, but we'll see. But yeah, no, I think there is a place for it. I think there's for certain people it will work. It's not necessarily my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's your thing, so I'm not taking away from you. So
No.
There's more of the pie for you.
Yeah. No, it's become. I'm similar where you're yourself and you're on Cityline, all these things.
Yeah.
Instagram's become my platform just to be me.
That's amazing.
You know? And I genuinely love real estate, and I genuinely love making videos, being me. I'm just quirky and weird.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, right? A business card doesn't tell them that.
Yeah, exactly.
A business card, they can easily throw it out. But now, if they see Matt online and they see how quirky and how fun and how interesting he is, and then you give them a business card, they'll probably put it in their wallet.
Yeah.
Or they'll, tuck it in somewhere at home in their drawer, so when they're ready, they can call you or save you or capture your information. A card is lifeless.
Yeah.
Right? That's why all realtors have, an outdated photo plastered all over their business cards. In Canada, Sotheby's won't even allow photos on business cards.
Okay, interesting.
We can't have bus shelter ads. We can't have park benches or billboards or any type of mass marketing like that because it waters down the brand.
Ah.
All of our business cards, our for sale signs, all that stuff, it comes in from a centralized. It's a centralized process. So I can't go to a depot and say, "Oh, hi, can you print out 1,000 business cards?" It doesn't work like that because they want to. It's a system put in place where we have very strict guidelines from the auction house to adhere to, and an auction house, that's existed for over 300 years. And when you have that kind of reputation, for example, you want to uphold it. You don't want to water it down. It was years ago. I was driving by. I know you said you were at Waryah Law once upon a time, and this person had a open house sign on the corner, and it was hot pink. There's nothing wrong with that. She had taken the logo, the Waryah Law logo, and it was also in hot pink. So now, you've completely, you think about Waryah Law, you think about red, black, and white.
Yeah.
Right? You can, and it's there. That's what's ingrained in my head. Think of CIBC, the color is red. You think of BMO, it's a light blue. Royal Bank is a dark blue. Now imagine one branch for Royal Bank is hot pink.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on? Might be cool for a day or two, but it's that's your brand,
right?
Yeah. You can't change that. So I don't even know why we got into this tangent. What did you even ask me? I don't remember.
I don't know either, but I think branding.
Oh, branding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So branding is important, but so that it allows you the opportunity, your social media platform gives you the opportunity to people to meet you and to it's the first sort of introduction. So they're Matt seems pretty cool. He's a guy that I could definitely go out and buy a home with or sell a home with. approachable. So next time you do hand them a business card, because we're talking about cards and us not putting our faces on them, because again, the face doesn't do anything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, what I was telling you earlier, like, now my business card, like, these are my credentials,
Yes.
right? So,
Yeah. It's bang. Sotheby's instantly trust.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's good. It's been very, very interesting. But maybe you'll get me into like an Instagram reel, or maybe you'll give me some content ideas. And
We'll collab on something.
yeah,
Yeah,
perfect. Before
popular.
Tuesday, I've got
Yeah.
a week.
Oh yeah, deadlines. I can work with deadlines.
Shoot.
I can work with deadlines.
But yeah.
Well, man, you've been awesome. Congrats on your success.
Thank you for having me. This has been great. Like, it was a
Yeah.
little disheveled again. Like, it just started raining. I usually have an umbrella, but not today, and I had to park a block away. But it's okay. We made it work.
We made it work. We
Yeah.
actually made you dry off.
Yeah, clearly.
We allowed. See, it's
Yeah.
content, guys.
Dehydrated.
You gotta.
Dehydrated.
We dried him off and dried him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've been awesome, man. So for everyone that wants to now check in on you and see what Rizwan's up to, where can they follow you?
It's just my name, Rizwan Malik, on Instagram. Don't look for a website.
Don't look for a website. You're not gonna find it. You're not gonna find it on a bus
Well,
shelter either.
there's the cheap and cheerful one through Sotheby's, which you kind of have to have, but
Yeah.
there's no RizwanMalik.com.
And Cityline is what channel?
It's on City TV.
City TV. What's the time and date?
10 a.m. 10 a.m. But like they're usually, like, if you do follow me on Instagram, like I'll post when I have my segment. So it's once a month right now, which is good. That's what we can kind of.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
For sure.
So once a month, it's a lot, and it's a commitment. Like it's half a day, and it's early. So
Yeah.
which the early part's not the issue, but there are a lot of moving parts right now. So
For sure.
it's good.
Amazing, man. Well, again, thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
for having
on.
me. This has been great.
You're very welcome. And to all you out there, branding is super important. If you see us on the streets, say hi. If you see us near a urinal, give us 5 minutes.
Yeah, wash your hands and then you can
Wash your
shake.
hands and maybe shake us. But to everyone out there, thank you again so much. We love you all. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, families, uncles, and pet rabbit. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.